everyone, and welcome to the next video in the yoga practice. Now today's video is going to be all about opening up the hips to access more arm balances. So initially we're going to work on warming up the body and then building core strength, accessing the arm strength, and then finally doing hip mobility exercises to kind of get into your arm balances. There are a few arm balances that we're going to try, and those will be the peak poses of this session. Some of them you might be able to do really well, some of them not so well, but in any case keep practicing it and eventually you'll get it. And especially if you follow the sequence, then you'll be able to access those asanas a little bit more easily. So let's start. As usual, let's start with neck rotations. Inhale as your head goes back. Exhale as it comes forward. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale as your head goes back and exhale as it comes forward. Now inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. And exhale, look down. Once again, inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Come to the center and let's look from side to side. And once again, come to the center and ear to shoulder. Good. Stop the practice. Right hand on left knee and twist back. Chest open, shoulders pushed back. And come back, and the same thing on the other side. So chest open, shoulders pushed back. And come back. Now place your hands flat on the floor in front of you, walk forward, and place your forehead, nose or chin on the floor. And slowly walk back. Then place your hand flat on the floor next to you. Reach out with the other hand, look up. And come back, and the same thing on the other side. And come back. Now you're going to place your right hand on your left knee, and you're going to extend the left hand to the side and look up. So it's almost like you're pulling with the right hand, bending the elbow, looking up and then leaning back. And come back. And the same thing on the other side. So left hand on right knee, extend the right hand out, look up, chest open, bend your elbows. And come back. Good. Now come on all fours. And we're going to start with the tiger breathing. Inhale, look up. Exhale, push your chin into your chest, curve your back, pull the tailbone in. Inhale, look up. Exhale, push your chin into your chest, curve your back, pull the tailbone in. Once again, inhale, look up. And exhale, push your chin into your chest, curve your back, pull the tailbone in. Come back to your base position, start your wrist stretches. Stop with both hands facing you, start to rock back and forth. And side to side. Good. Stop the practice, bring your hands back to their original positions. Place your toes on the floor. Lift your knees up off of the floor, push your tailbone up. And then slowly start to straighten, first one leg, then the other leg. Gently walking in place. And then straighten both legs. Roll the thighs in. Keep pushing your tailbone up. And then inhale, bring the right leg forward in between the hands. Place the back knee on the floor. Push the hips down, rock from side to side. You should be getting better at this movement, because every single time you practice yoga, we do this, so you have to focus on pushing your hips down and then moving side to side. Then you will definitely feel a stretch on the groin. Now switch legs, take the right leg back, left leg forward, back knee on the floor. Again, push the hips down and rock from side to side. It also makes a difference how far back the back leg is and how much the knee and the ankle are in one line. So you must try to get them in one line, push the hips down and then rock from side to side. And now bring both legs forward and hang here. Allow the arms to dangle forward, top of the head facing the floor. And now slowly, vertebra by vertebra, you're going to roll yourself up to a standing position. Good. Now come to your base position and we're going to start with the Surya Namaskars. Bring your hands together in the Namaskar Mudra and let's begin. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana. Right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down. Left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, right leg forward, left leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Inhale, take your hands all the way up. Exhale, come down, left leg back, right leg back, knees, chest, chin down. Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left leg forward, right leg forward. Inhale all the way up and back. Good. Now come into your child's pose. Toes together, hands stretched out, forehead on the floor, and relax. Good. And now let's begin. Come into your downward dog with your feet wide apart. And you're going to lift the tailbone up. If you have to hold the edges of the mat, go ahead and really grab the edges of the mat tightly. Push the mat back as though you want to lift it out and from under you. And try to lift the tailbone up even as you push the heels down. Priority is on pushing the tailbone up, not on pushing the heels down. So keep lifting the tailbone up and up and up. Don't allow the chest to collapse. Keep the chest moving, long, long, long. And from here, come into your upward facing dog. Keep the knees, don't allow the knees to sag down. Knees have to be tight, chest is open. Again, you're going to push back, back, and back. And then come forward again. The challenge is to allow the hips to sink down as the knees are going up and the chest is coming forward. Again, go back. And come forward. And again, go back. And come forward. And now you're going to place your knees on the floor and lie down with one hand on top of the other and relax. Relax your forehead. Place your hands next to your chest, but take them an inch or even a centimeter below the line of the chest, and you're going to take your elbows and push them back. Back closer to your upper body. And then you're going to lift up into Bhujangasana completely, and then lift the knees up also. And after you've done this, see if you can move a little forward and keep opening the chest, pushing the hips down, rolling the thighs in. And hold this. And come down. One hand on top of the other. Forehead on the arms. And now, again, you're going to place your hands next to your chest. This time, place the toes on the floor, and you're going to lift up into upward facing dog. So here, even the knees come up, and you walk forward. As far forward as you can. Heels are still apart, feet are still apart. Keep looking up. Keep looking forward. Now, you're going to bring your feet together, and then lift the right leg up. And stay here. Don't lift the hips up, just the leg. And bring it down. Now left leg. And bring it down. Good. Knees on the floor. And lie down. Good. Now prop yourself up on your elbows, bend your right leg, grab the foot, and bring the foot as close to your glutes as you can. The stretch is on the quads. So relax the groin, relax the hip joint, and allow this passive stretch to happen. And then let go. And the same thing on the other side. So you're going to bend the left leg and bring it closer to you. This is almost like a small back bend also, but we're not focusing on back bends today. Good. Now, come back. Now sit in your Vajrasana. And for today's video, we're going to use 2 blocks. So you're going to keep one block close to you. And now, you're going to place the block near the groin and bring your knees together. So if the knees are together, the feet are also together. And now, you're going to keep gripping the block as you lift up into your downward dog. So keep gripping the block tightly. Try to push it back. Push it back with the help of your quad muscles. Roll them in, not out. And stay here. And breathe. Good. Knees on the floor. And now, you're going to come into your Uttanasana. So take your legs wide apart, distance of the mat apart, and heels in alignment, the outer edge of your feet in alignment, complete alignment with the outer edge of the mat. And you're going to come forward and actually use the block and push into the block with your hands. The more you push into the block, the more you'll see that your glute muscles start to open up. They start to roll away and start to open up. So you're widening the hips on both sides. So keep the block deliberately on its side. Don't make the block flat. It gives a different impact. And you're going to push the block down. And as you do that, feel how the entire hip changes. Hold it. And now you're going to place the block flat on its face and again push down. Push down. This will make your body weight go back on the heels, but you're still pushing down. Now, grab your ankles and place the block on its side again. And then you're going to come forward and see if you can place your forehead over the top of your head on top of the block. And hold this. Good. Come up. Place the block on its face again. And now you're going to actually step on top of the block. The block can come up a little bit, that's fine. But you should be able to extend, you should feel a stretch on your quads, on your shins, hamstrings. And now what you're going to do is you're going to bend forward from the waist and place your hands on the floor. And allow this stretch to happen. Roll the thighs in. That will make the stretch even better. Keep the chest open as though you want to bring the chest forward first. Good. And take the block forward, stand up, and we'll just do the Parshva Uttanasana to stretch the back of the hamstrings even more. So, you're going to place the right foot on top of the block, left leg back, and your hips are going to be squared. You're going to bend forward, and place your fingertips on the floor. And then you're going to walk further forward. See if you can take the arms even more forward. So in this case, you're trying to push the right hip back. It's an isometric stretch for the hamstrings. Now, bring the left leg forward and take the right leg back. And again the same thing. So you're pushing the left hip back, further back, further back. Keep extending the torso forward. Good. And step down and shake the legs out. Now, you're going to come into your downward dog, and then you're going to take a block and place it behind your right knee. And you're going to adjust it so that you're holding onto it securely. And then you're going to take the leg as far back as you can, still holding the block. Bring it in, across, and back, and constantly holding on to the block. So we're going to move this 5 times. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now, you're going to do the same thing on the left side. So again, I'm going to hold the block, and then you're going to lift it up and move it out and in. 1, and in 2, out and in 3, out and in 4, out and in 5. And I'm going to bring the leg down and come into your plank pose now. And now, in the plank pose, you're going to work on bringing the shoulder blades close together and pushing them out. Close together, push them out. 3, out. 4, out. 5, out. Good. Knees on the floor and shake the hands out. We're going to do a few more planks so that you're able to access your core strength. Good. Now, sit on your side. So we're going to start with the side plank and lifting the hips up in side plank. So in side plank, you always try that the legs are on top of each other. If you need to do this, you can do this also for support, but predominantly we try that the legs are supported on top of each other. Take one hand on your waist and start to lift up. So you lift, 1, come down, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now you're going to come down and do the same thing on the other side. So hand on the waist, the other hand on the floor, and let's begin. 1, 2, 3. Don't land with a thud. 4 and 5. Good. Now, you're going to lie down and place one hand under the head. Extend the upper leg up and hold this. And you're basically extending the leg up and stretching the inner edges of the leg, almost like the Trikonasana. Good. Come down and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can just turn around on your mat. You don't have to switch sides. I'm just doing that because I need to demonstrate. Take the leg and go up and hold this. Good. And come down. Now, you're going to stand up and grab a block once again. Now we're going to start a little bit of the twisting. So you're going to bring your feet so that they are about hip width apart and feet are parallel to each other. And you're going to take this block and place it on the floor in front of you. And you're still pushing down into the block. And now take this block to the side so that it's parallel to the edge of the mat. And do not turn to the side. Keep your hips squared and you're pushing down. This will extend the left side more than the right. And there is a compression on the right side, so that's okay. And you're pushing down. And then come to the other side. And again, the same thing. It's hard to keep the hips squared in this, but try your best. And body weight also comes on the left side. So you try to neutralize that. Good. And come forward, come to the center. And walk the legs out and squat down. And take the block forward, walk forward and stay here. Drop the neck down. Good. Now you're going to sit down. Take both legs out. In fact, use your block. Place both feet up on the block. Take the flesh of the glutes out and lean forward slowly and see if you can touch your ankles. And if you cannot touch your ankles or hold your ankles, hold anywhere on the foot. And if even that is a challenge for you, then just use a belt to make a connection and to try and come forward. So go ahead and slowly try and lengthen your upper body on top of your thighs. So the more you push your chest forward, the more you propel the chest forward, the more the tailbone will feel a stretch. Come up and work on the twist. Take your left hand and place it on the right, hold the right side of the foot with it and extend back. So you're just taking the right hand and placing it on the floor and you're trying to keep both legs equal to each other. So the left leg will tend to go forward, but you pull it back. You keep pulling that left hip back and you're opening the chest. Now you do the same thing on the other side. So come back and right leg forward. Again, the right foot will tend to go forward, but you pull it back. And come back. Now, as usual, let's do Baddha Konasana before we move forward. So you're going to pull yourself forward, as far forward as you can. Now, since you have the block, use the block and rest the forehead. It's okay to rest the forehead if you need. You can rest on the floor also if you want. But even in Baddha Konasana, remember the stretch comes from the tailbone and not from the upper back. Although the upper back looks like it's more bent than the tailbone, we want to lengthen the tailbone to come down. And come up. Now, extend both legs forward. And you're going to bend the right leg and take it across the left and bend the left leg also. And then extend the left leg up and bind it and hold it here. And if you need to use a block, go ahead and use a block to extend both sides of the body. So remember, you should feel an extension on the upper body. There should be an extension on the lower back also. So try to open the chest. Deep breaths. If you want, you can also place your hand on the knee and keep the chest open. This kind of stretch is really nice for the glutes as well. Good. Now let go, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So extend both legs forward, bend the left leg, put it to the right side, and bend your right leg also. Now extend the right hand up, bind it, and initially you're just working on opening the chest, opening the shoulder blades, keeping the neck long, and stay here. And now extend the right hand out. See if you can place it on the right knee. Also, don't worry if you cannot. This is more about twisting twisting your abdomen and opening shoulders. There's a certain level of relaxation also required in the groin for this. Good. And come up. Once again, go into your Baddha Konasana. Now, bring your right foot, place it on the inside of both elbows, and then rock from side to side. Same thing on the other side. Good. And now sit with both legs extended out like this, feet together, knees together. You're going to take the right hand up, place it on the outside of the left foot, and you're just going to kind of stretch the right side of the body. Keep both knees together and try to open the chest. So although the right knee is trying to come forward, you're keeping it pulled back and chest open. And breathe. This requires a deep stretch and a deep twist in the gut, in your abdomen. So it's good to stay for as long as you can. Now come back, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So take the left arm up on to the right knee and twist. And remember, one side is always a little more stiff. Like for me, the left knee is trying to come out. So I have to really focus on twisting as much as I can, and at the same time not letting the left knee come up. Good. And come up. Now you're going to come up on your feet, and we're going to try to attempt the side crow. So you're going to place your the outer edge of the left knee on the right elbow, and then see if you can bend both elbows and just stay here. This is going to teach you how to support the body weight. And then if you can, place both feet on top of each other. And come down. And this is where you see the importance of the twist. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the move that we just did before this, where you're twisting, it's directly related to the side crow. So now, you're going to come up and place the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Place both hands on the floor, and you're actually going to bend, 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 lift one leg up, and then stay there, or see if you want to place both feet on top of each other. And come down. Shake the hands out. And now we're going to do the regular crow. So now that you've done the side crow, the regular crow should feel a little easier to you. So let's try it. So here, first you're going to squat down, a deep squat. And then you're going to place your hands on the floor. And if you see, the knees are close to your armpits. But what you're going to do is you're going to lift the hips up, lean forward, bend your elbows. And place the knees on the edge, on the tip of the elbows. And you want to keep looking forward. Do not look anywhere else, otherwise you won't be able to balance. Keep the chest long, neck long. Lift the right leg up first. Place it down. Left leg. And place it down. Once again, right. And take it down. Left. And take it down. And again, come down into the squat. Now we're going to try it again, and this time we're going to go fully up into the crow. So you're going to again bring your knees as close to the armpits as you can. Look down, bring your nose as close to the floor as possible. Lift the right leg up and then the left leg up. And stay here. And down, and squat down. So remember, you want to do this as many times as you want, as many times as you can practice. Now, we're going to do another variation of this posture. So for that, before we start, we'll do this happy baby pose. So lie down on your back and bring your knees as close to the floor as you can. And rock from side to side. Good. Shake the legs out. And now, you're going to take the right foot, and whereas before we had put it here on the inner edge of the left arm, now you're going to try and place it on the right arm. So on the as close to the right armpit as you can. So that's a twist in itself. So you're going to just hold this. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. The first time, because it's a new movement, you may not be able to do it, but keep at it. By the 5th day, 6th day that you practice this, you'll get a lot better at this. And this is why you now see that the Baddha Konasana is also a very important posture. So again, you're going to bring it as close to the upper arm as you can and hold it. Good. Now, you're going to place, now we're going to come into this variation of the crow. So you're going to place the right foot on top of the left knee. Take the right hand on the outside of the left knee, so you're combining all the movements that we've learned, and then see if you can lift up into the crow and stay here. So do as much as you can. The first time you do it, you're just going to fall, like you're going to get tangled and you're going to fall. But keep trying, because we've been through all the basic movements for these asanas. Like we've done the arm balancing, we've worked on the core, we've worked on opening the hip, and you've been doing that every single day on this module. Because we always do lower body stretches, we always do Baddha Konasana. So you've already done all of that. It's just a matter of getting everything together and getting the body to work together. Now, again, you're going to lift and extend out. And come down and sit down. And just to stretch the lower back out slightly, take your block and come into the Baddha Konasana with the block. If you have any questions about how you're doing this asana, feel free to call me and ask me. We can figure out where your limitation is, where the body's limitation is, and then we can work on that specifically. Good. Now, place the block on the floor. And I just want to work on a little bit of leg lifts because, again, since we've done a lot of core, I just want to stimulate the core slightly, a little bit more, before we do a few stretches to close into Shavasana. So what you're going to do is, you're going to hold one block, lift it up, keep lifting it up as though you want to push it to the wall above your head, and lift the other block up also. Both blocks are held like this, not like this. So you're lifting up and extending this other leg up also, other block up also, and you're coming down 1 inch off the floor. The hands are remaining up, and lift up and come down, and lift up, 3, and come down, and lift up, 4, and come down, and lift up, 5, and come down, and lift up, 6, and come down, lift up, 7, and come down, lift up, 8, and come down, lift up, 9, and come down, and lift up, 10, and come down. Now you can drop the blocks, keep one block handy, bend your knees, hands out to the sides. Now drop both knees to the left side and look to the right. Relax your abdomen, relax the groin. Come up, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So go down to the other side. And come down. Now take the legs wide apart, even the distance of the mat apart is good, and drop both knees to the left side. And come down, and both knees to the right side. And come down. Now, extend the left leg out. Place the right foot on the left knee. Hold the right knee with the left hand and take it down to the left side. And keep looking to your right. come up, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left foot on the right knee and drop, and keep looking to the left side. And come back. Now, take the block, place it under your head so that the head is comfortably resting. Just the edge of the head is resting. And you're going to bend the left leg, extend the right leg up. These stretches are important to do every day. You must stretch the back of the legs every day, especially the hamstrings, the shins. Let go. Now the left leg. And let go. Now go back into the right, lift the right leg up, and then extend the left leg out. Yeah, so you will just have to tolerate the stretch, breathe 5 times. Go, and the same thing on the other side. So grab the left, take it up, hold it firm, and extend the right. Good. Now one more thing that I've started doing these days and which I really like is to stretch out in the happy baby pose and then extend the legs out and see if you can touch the toes on the floor. So again, touch, come up, touch, and come up, feet on the floor, and relax in your Shavasana. Gently bring your awareness back into your own body. Start to move your fingers and your toes. Move your face from side to side. Turn to the right. Bring yourself up to any comfortable seated meditative asana. Sit with your back straight, your shoulders relaxed, your eyes closed. Bring your hands together in the Namaskar Mudra. Start rubbing your hands together. And place them on your closed eyelids. Rub your hands across your face and with a few blinks, open your eyes. Now, after doing these particular sets of movements, you may feel a new sense of like a new soreness somewhere in the back, maybe in the groin and around the hips. It's important to be safe in these asanas, so don't overstretch because it's easy to get an injury on the groin when you do these asanas. But at the same time, try to push yourself just a little bit. And if you're sore, then you know that your muscles are working more than they've done before, so that's a good sign. But yeah, it's not good to get injured, so always be careful when you practice these kind of movements. So yeah, so with that, if you have any questions, let me know, and do come back and practice tomorrow. Thank you.